Good evening, YouTube. Yes, it's Martin here from the Knit 365 vlog. Welcome to episode 9, I think, in my vlogtober mini-series. So I'm blogging a little bit more than usual. Blogging, vlogging, filming. Rather than doing a video a fortnight-ish, I'm trying to do 2 or 3 videos a week. And it's perfect timing that Vlogtober ties in with the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along. So this year is all about Shawlography. You've just actually seen a bit of footage of me knitting something that's not Shawlography. I am making squares for a baby blanket. We have a nephew due Christmas Eve, and we have a niece due the first week of January. So I am busy trying to finish all of the baby projects and work on my shawl and work on one of my 17 works in progress. We don't talk about that. That'll come up in another video. We'll do a bit of a wrap up and see where we are. So yeah, I've been working on a bit of a baby blanket. I finished work a little bit earlier, so I popped along to a little coffee shop. Mark was having his haircut, so bit of knitting on a square for the blanket, which throughout the last week is just all my knitting's been focused on my Shawlography. So it's been lovely to just do something completely different and completely mindless. I've said this last year for those of you that saw last year's Vlogtober around the Mystery Knit Along. I'm definitely not a monogamous knitter. I don't really enjoy working on just one project. My head gets a bit confused, and I think it's because it's quite repetitive. I get a bit confused and I make silly mistakes, like I did in the end of the last video, if you've watched that one, where I messed up a purl row. Something simple as just forgetting which row I was on. And I like the variety, which is why I've got 17 whips, of being able to pick things up and work on different projects. But there we go. Nice for you to see something different as a little bit of an introduction. I am going out now. It is Friday the 22nd. We have both finished work for the week. We've had a really busy week. So Mark is taking me out. We're going on a date. I don't know where we're going. I'm being told to get ready and we're going out, which is exciting. So I have done a little bit of knitting. I thought I would just very quickly show you what I've done. As said, I finished work a little bit earlier, went to the coffee shop, did a little bit of a baby blanket square while I was waiting for Mark. I've come home and I've jumped straight in because I knew that I was going out and I didn't want to get distracted. I wanted to get going on the shawl. So, shall we do it? Shall we do it? I've got the shawl, but let's woo! That's right. It's Brioche cam. And yeah, there's Brioche. This week's video from Stephen started and his lovely little puppy, Brioche, was on the table. And I was like, ugh, as cute as that puppy is, there's going to be Brioche this week. So what are you going to do? There is the Brioche this week then, and there is a non-Brioche option. I did say to Mark about doing the non-Brioche option, kind of like a vegetarian option when you eat out, and he went, but you're not vegetarian. I was like, I know that, but do I have to do that? Yes. Mark's view is, I have to knit the pattern as Stephen intended. So if Stephen has intended to have Brioche, then I need to do Brioche. It's fine. I make a big thing about Brioche because it's just a technique that I'm not really familiar with. And I like, if I've made a mistake, I like being able to fix it. And I can't do that with Brioche. I can only go forward. I can't go backwards. So I've done Brioche before. I did it on my Starflake 2 years ago. That's where I learned how to Brioche. I did it for the first time under Stephen's tuition, watching the YouTube videos. I'll do it again. It will be fine. I've watched this week's Brioche. In the Starflake, we had increases and decreases, and we had this lovely pattern. This year, we just have a complete stripe. So it's going to be fine. It's easier than what I've already done in the past. So I'm not stressing. As Stephen said, say yes, don't stress. Let's do the Brioche. So what I've done, because there's not a lot of knitting this week, as in compared to the last few weeks, or certainly last week especially, when we had all of these techniques and textures. The brioche is just one panel, and then there's a crisscross design, which is really funky. So I'll share a bit of that as I'm going. I'm really excited to do that. But there's a lot of stitches. So we've just done a really big set of increases. So I've done the first 2 rows. For you that are following along and have the pattern, you will have seen that you do 2 setup rows, which is what I've just done. So my thinking was, we're going out on a date. See, I'm rambling, but we're going out on a date. Food and drink tonight. I won't do any more knitting tonight. When I get up tomorrow morning, I want to be able to pick this up and just get knitting. I don't want to have to pick it up and then do all the setup rows and all those yarn overs and crazy holes. So that's what I've done. So I've basically, I think it's taken me about 45 minutes to do 2 rows, which I say it's not a lot of knitting with the brioche, but if it's 45 minutes a row, that's a lot of rows, but there we go. So we've basically, if I step back, we've taken the shawl, as you've seen. You saw this lovely wedge that we've created on both sides. And what we've now done is picked up and we've continued knitting, and we've created these lovely eyelet rows. And this continues all the way along the pattern, as is. So it goes along the top, in between the wedges, and then it comes back up the wedge. So I've done that, and now because it's brioche, the next row, so I've done these 2 rows in the cream, and the thing with brioche is you basically knit each row twice. So I've now finished this row, and instead of usually turning my knitting to then work back, I slide all the stitches back to the other end and I knit the same row twice in a different colour. So I am now ready for the first row in the burgundy. So the brioche is going to be, the foreground colour is going to be this cream, which is my colour B, and the contrast colour, the alternate colour, will be colour A in the red. So I'm now ready to do my first red row, which will be row 1 of the brioche and the wrong side. So I'm ready to go, and I feel quite pleased with myself because I've planned ahead, which means when I get up tomorrow, I can just pick it up and I can start. And then over the next few days, I'm going to work through the brioche. I have Wednesday off. I'm doing something secret that I can't tell you about yet. It is knitting related. It is YouTube related. And I'll maybe tell you a bit more at the end of this video if I can tell you about it. If not, there'll be a separate update. But I'm very excited about it. So I've got Wednesday off because I'm doing a secret YouTube thing. So if I don't make a lot of progress this weekend on my brioche, I do have Wednesday off, which will be a knitting heavy day. So there we go. Quick introduction to this week then. I'm hoping, as there's less knitting in terms of techniques, I will be finished by Wednesday. I didn't really like finishing close to the wire. 10 o'clock on Thursday night when the pattern's been released on Friday, I didn't like that. No, sir. So I'd like to finish the whole thing by Wednesday. So if I can get the brioche done Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I can then do the crisscross section Tuesday. That would be amazing. I've then got Wednesday as a contingency day. So we will see. But as usual, I'm going to follow my progress for you all. I'm going to share what I'm up to. I'm going to keep you posted. This little mini episode 9 will be loaded at some point, probably on Sunday. I'll probably share where I've got to as far as the brioche. I'm contemplating a lifeline. I feel a little bit confident that I've done the brioche before and this is an easier brioche. So I'm possibly not going to put a lifeline in, but I know now you're all going, ah, Martin, put one in. I didn't use a lifeline last time I did it and I was okay. It was hard. I was going to do it on this first row, but with all these yarn overs, I didn't want to put the lifeline in because I didn't want it to mess my yarn overs up. And now the next row, I'm not sure I can easily put a lifeline in. I'm going to mull that one over. I'll let you know that tomorrow when I start the next row. But we are now off out. You will shortly see future Martin, because Saturday Martin is now going to come and tell you what his night out was like and show you a bit of the knitting. So I hope that you enjoy this episode. Thank you, as always, for being here. And thank you for commenting and watching and all of the rest of it. I'm a happy little knitter at the moment with my lovely little YouTube community. So thank you all for being part of it. And I hope that you enjoy the rest of this video. Good morning. I'm talking a bit quieter because Mark is still asleep. It's only 8:30. It's Sunday morning. And I didn't do any knitting yesterday. But this is the Knit 365 blog, I hear you all saying. Yes, I know it is. But I decided that I wasn't going to do any. We went to my brother's yesterday afternoon. That was planned. We were going to help him build a shed in his garden. So I only had 3 hours-ish when I woke up to do some knitting. Which, all right, that's 3 hours. But I thought, I don't want to start the brioche, get into a bit of a rhythm, and then have to stop. So I'm not going to do any brioche. And then I thought, oh, well, I could make some baby blankets. And I thought, oh, do you know what? I've done so much knitting in the last couple of weeks. I'm having a day off. So I didn't do any knitting. So it's Sunday morning. I'm up. It's about 8:30. I've got a coffee. Oh, look at the cute cup my friend Saskia bought me for my birthday. Do you recognise him? It does look a little bit like me. I've got bed hair. I haven't got a lot of hair, but I've got bed hair. Excuse the mess. So I'm going to sit down now. I'm not going to put the telly on, or the radio, or the anything. I'm going to sit down on the settee, and I'm going to knit a row of brioche with no distractions, no phone. And I'm going to see how I get on. Watch this space. Do not knit unless you are fully caffeinated. I have made a mistake, but it was an easy one to fix. On the brioche, you knit each row twice. So you need to do a wrong side row and a right side row. And the row I needed to start on was a wrong side row. So I got halfway through the row, just about to start the second wedge. And I was like, that's the right side. So I started on the wrong row. So I basically spent 25 minutes part knitting a row and then part undoing the row. So I'm going to start again. Don't knit until you've had your coffee. No way. So it is nearly 12 o'clock and I am heading out to meet Instagram friend Sal, who lives just up the road in Penarth. We are going to meet on the bay for a coffee and say hi. Windy. Sal is also doing Shawlography and we're going to show shawls, which will be lovely, and have a cup of coffee. I will show you my progress when I get back. Traffic. I've finished the first pattern repeat, so I'll show you when I get in my progress. So I finished the first pattern repeat and I have to do it another 4 times and then the brioche is done. So yeah, a good morning. It's taken me 2.5 hours ish to do the first row of the brioche and then 1 pattern repeat, which is a bit slow going, but I was going slow and steady, make sure I didn't make any mistakes. So I am feeling pleased. So let's go and see Sal and her shawl. And as if by magic, the weekend is over. Oh, it's my working Monday today, so I am sitting in the window. It's about 7:30, and I'm just going to film this very short segment to wrap this video up before I head to the office. But it was a productive Sunday. I feel like I'm in a rhythm, touch wood, with the brioche. So, yesterday I managed to do 3 repeats. This wool is fluffy. I managed to do 3 repeats of the brioche, and you have to do 4 repeats in total. So I've only got 1 repeat left to go. Had a lovely time with Sally. You saw her shawl. Her shawl looks amazing. And the thing I love about knitting patterns in general, but especially West knit shawls, that because they're so intricate with lots of different features and embellishments, they look completely different depending on the yarn and the colours. And Sally's using Life in the Long Grass, and they're all singles, and the feel of it is so crisp, it's lovely. And of course I'm using Lola Bean, and it's got some yak and silk in it, and it's so drapey. So the shawls feel completely different, but they look different too. So it was lovely to meet up with Sal for a couple of hours. We had a good old natter. I didn't do any knitting, and neither did Sal, because no one's knitting brioche. Although Sally was doing the mesh, she did the non-brioche option, which you saw. She bought a sock. We just sat there and chatted. Sal did no knitting, and I didn't do any knitting either. But when I got home, productive day. So I sat down, I did some brioche, and I thought I was going to be a lot slower than I was. I've been going really slow and steady. So there's the front and there's the back. So on the wrong side, you can see we have the red burgundy as the foreground colour, and on the right side we have the cream as the right colour, as the foreground colour. So that's it for this episode of Vlogtober. I've taken you through my weekend. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, bit of knitting content, bit of Sal, someone else on the podcast. Yeah, I'm going to wrap this one up and edit this together and get this up online, hopefully today, Monday. I've got 1 more repeat left, which hopefully I'll be able to do tonight, and then I've got the crisscross section. So I'll probably do another video then, maybe Wednesday, that shares where I've gotten up to. And Wednesday is my day off for my secret. I'm being interviewed, that's all I'll tell you, and then obviously more will follow. I'm being interviewed by someone, and I'm very excited. So I've got that on Wednesday. So I'll do another video on Wednesday, I think, as my crisscross. But yeah, West Knit's mystery knit a long time though, making great progress. Won't be finishing this at 10:30, touch wood again, on Thursday night before the patterns revealed. I think I found a bit of a rhythm with my brioche. So I'm very much looking forward to getting this finished, hopefully tonight, and then on to the final section. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. As always, thank you so much for coming back if you are a returning viewer. And hello, the subscriber count is still going up. So if you've just found me, hello, you are very, very welcome. Let me know in the comments below what you're working on. Are you taking part in the Mystery Knit Along? How are you finding it? Just say hi, let me know where you're from. I'm trying to reply to everybody. I am a little bit behind. There is a lot of comments. You're all so active and chatty, but I will get to you all, I promise. So until we speak again in the middle of the week, happy crafting.